Here's a geometry word problem, though you don't really need to know a whole lot about geometry to be able to do this problem, other than to know the fact that triangles that are similar are congruent. But a person who is 6 feet tall walks away from the flagpole toward the tip of the shadow of the flagpole. When the person is 42 feet from the flagpole, the tips of the person's shadow and the shadow cast by the flagpole coincide at a point 7 feet in front of the person. The crucial thing here is part A. Draw a diagram that gives a visual representation of this problem. Let H represent the height of the flagpole. Alright, without the diagram, I don't know how I would do this. So we've got a flagpole here, and we're going to call the height of the flagpole H. And it's casting some shadow out here. And so we have a person down here that's standing at the flagpole at first. Alright, and then the person walks 42 feet out this way. So the person comes out here 42 feet. And when they stand there, their shadow is the same as the shadow of the flagpole. So they come on out here. Their shadow ends here along with the flagpole. Now this person, when they're standing here, they are 6 feet tall. Alright, so what we're going to say is this all connects here. So basically this person is standing in the shadow of the flagpole and their shadows coincide. And so what we want to know is H. And so 42, just to be clear here, I move 42 over. 42 is the distance from that the person walked. And when the person got to the point where they stopped, they were 7 feet from the end of their shadow. Okay, so how can we use this to find H? Alright, since these triangles are what we call similar triangles, and the fact that they share the same angle, the sun is hitting them at the same angle, we realize that the ratio of 7 to 6 is the same as the shadow of the person to the person's height is the same as the flagpole's shadow to the flagpole's height. So what I'm saying is person's shadow over the person's height is equal to the flagpole shadow over the flagpole height. Alright, that's a pretty crucial thing here that we can do with this triangle. So we know the person's shadow is 7 feet long and the person is 6 feet tall. Now the flagpole shadow is, be careful here, it's 42 plus 7, right? It was 42 feet that the person walked out until their shadow coincided with the flagpole. So they walked out 42. That's why I moved that 42 over so we could be clear that 42 goes to here. And then it's 7 more feet from where the person stopped till their shadow coincided. So it's 42 plus 7, and then the flagpole height is H. At this point, once you understand that, I think the problem is pretty easy. Because when we have a fraction equals a fraction, we can do what we call cross multiplication. And cross multiplication says 7 times H equals 6 times, and 42 plus 7 is 49. So 6 times 49 is 294. And 7H on the left hand side. We divide both sides by 7. And so 294 divided by 7 is 42. And so we get the height of this flagpole is 42 feet. Again, it's all tied up in this relationship between ratios here that allow us to do that.